Hello viewers and my dear students. Welcome to all you on my YouTube channel. This is Dr. Gyanendra, Assistant Professor in Law, Sri Shivaji Law College, Parbhani. Friends, in today's lecture we will discuss the salient features of Indian Constitution. Introductory. Constitution plays very important role in the progress and development of the nation. Constitution is also called as supreme law of land. It contains principles of governance of the state. Every nation must have a constitution. So, wherever there is a concept of nation or a state, it requires a constitution. And constitution is also called as suprema lex, means the supreme law of land. So Indian constitution is the supreme law of land and other laws are under it. So there are various principles of or features of Indian constitution. We will discuss it in our next slides. What is constitution? Friend, we must understand the concept of constitution. Constitution is a legal document created by the will and wish of the people. Constitution established three wings of democracy or the state, that is the legislature, executive and judiciary. These organs of the state are working for the progress and development of the nation, are handling the affairs of the state. Salient features of Indian Constitution. Friends, now we will discuss what is meant by salient features. Salient features are also called as characteristics of Indian Constitution. There are various golden threads of the Constitution. We will discuss such principles one by one as follows. So Indian Constitution have some characteristics or salient features or essential elements. So these essential elements are very important from our knowledge and exam point of view. So friends, so first characteristic of Indian Constitution is written constitution. We intentionally adopted the concept of written form of constitution because United Kingdom used to follow, or it is followed, that they have unwritten constitution, but there may be a ambiguity or vagueness in a concept of unwritten constitution. That's why written constitution have less ambiguities. That's why we intentionally adopted it. It is easy to determine the power, functions and duties of organs of the state. Whenever something is written on a piece of paper, it becomes concrete and we can verify it from time to time. Hence it is the first characteristic of Indian Constitution that we adopted the written format of Constitution. Second feature of Indian Constitution is bulky Constitution. Indian Constitution is the world's largest constitution. It contains detail of every aspect of the state. So Indian Constitution is a bulky, it is lengthiest one. It is also a criticism against the constitution, but still for the governance of the country, this bulky constitution is very much necessary. If we compare the original constitution and the constitution of today, we will discuss it that article, there were 395 articles when Indian constitution was commenced. Today there are more than 450 articles. Originally there were only 8 schedules, whereas now there are 12 schedules. And original constitution contains only 22 parts, now there are 25 parts. So it makes the bulky constitution. But whatever it may be the criticism, bulky constitution is a necessary, or it is a need of time, because we want to govern the country in a whole aspect. So friends, now third essential requirement or a feature of Indian Constitution is fundamental rights. Indian Constitution contains human rights in the form of fundamental rights. So human rights are given a different name under Indian Constitution. It is called as fundamental rights. Idea of fundamental rights borrowed from United States of America. Article 35, Article 12 to 35 of Indian Constitution provides the concept of fundamental rights, and these rights are enforceable under Article 32 of Indian Constitution. So fundamental rights are very important. These rights are also called as the natural rights or human rights of every human being. So these rights are available to Indian citizens, and these are enforceable through Article 32 of Indian Constitution. Fundamental duties. Friends, fundamental duties were not the original part of Indian Constitution. These fundamental duties were inserted in 1976 by 42nd Amendment Act under Article 51A of Indian Constitution. Previously, there were only 10 fundamental duties were there, but 11th fundamental duty was inserted in 2002 by 86th Constitution Amendment Act, and now there are 11 fundamental duties of Indian Constitution. These fundamental duties are not enforceable by any court, means a person cannot approach before a court for the enforcement of these duties. Secular state. So friends, India is a secular state or a secular nation because we are neutral in case of religion in the matters of state. Means state shall not interfere in the matters of religion, and religion also shall not interfere in the matters of state. So there should be a demarcation of every sphere of religion and state. And there is no official religion of India. Means India will not boost or prefer any one religion over the other. This concept is called as concept of secularism. In SR Bommai versus Union of India AIR 1994 case, Apex Court of India held that secularism is a basic structure of Indian Constitution. Basic structure means we cannot amend, we cannot change the secular character of Indian Constitution. Judicial review. Friends, judicial review is a weapon in the hands of judiciary. Judiciary can review the actions of legislature. It is a character of independent judiciary. Judiciary is working as independent due to the concept of judicial review. Due to the concept of judicial review, judiciary can review or revisit the administrative, legislative, and judicial action itself. Means there is a control over the legislature and executive through the concept of judicial review. In Indira Nehru Gandhi versus Raj Narayan, in this case, Supreme Court of India held that judicial review is a basic structure. Means if we want our judiciary as independent, there should be a judicial reviews power with the judiciary, and hence this is a very important characteristic of Indian Constitution. Preamble of Indian Constitution. Preamble is an introduction to Indian Constitution. It contains goals to be achieved by the nation. Preamble is drafted after the provisions of the Constitution. So preamble is nothing but it is a prelude. It is a starting point of Indian Constitution, and only 86 words are used there, and these 86 words are very important because it contains the crux of Indian Constitution. In Keshavananda Bharati versus State of Kerala AIR 1973, Supreme Court of India held that preamble is an integral part of Indian Constitution. Means while interpreting the provisions of the Constitution, the Supreme Court and High Court shall interpret the provisions of the Constitution in the light of the preamble of Constitution. This is the importance of Indian Constitution in the interpretation of statutes in India. Freedom of religion. Friends, every Indian citizen is free to profess, practice, and propagate any religion according to his or her choice. Article 25 to 30 of Indian Constitution provides the freedom of religion. But friends, this freedom is subject to public order, morality, and health. Means this freedom is not absolute, but still it is a very important freedom which is given to all Indians, that they can practice any religion and the state will not interfere in the matters of religion. In Acharya Jagdishwaranand Avdut versus Commissioner of Police Calcutta, in this case, Supreme Court held that the freedom of religion is not absolute and reasonable restrictions can be placed. So every freedom is subject to certain reasonable restrictions. But before 1950, there was no freedom of religion to Indian citizens. Now we can exercise the freedom of religion, and any Indian can profess, practice any religion as per his or her choice. This is also a very important characteristic of Indian Constitution. Minority rights. So Article 29 and 30 of Indian Constitution contains certain rights which are called as minority rights. There are minorities like Muslim, Christians, Parsi, Jain, Buddhist, Sikhs, Zoroastrians. These are the some important minorities in India, and minorities, if they have a distinct culture or language, they can preserve the same culture and language. For this purpose, minorities can establish educational institutions of their choice. This right was confirmed by Supreme Court in PA Inamdar versus State of Maharashtra's case, where Apex Court of India held that it is a fundamental right of every minority to preserve their culture and tradition, and for that purpose, they can establish educational institutions of their choice. That's why this is very important characteristics of Indian Constitution. Amendability of Indian Constitution. Friends, amendment means change in the constitution, because our constitution is drafted in late 1940s. The socio economic and political conditions were different in 1940s. Now we are in 2020. So during this 70 years, much things are changed. So to change with the changing time, it is necessary to amend the constitution. Article 368 of Indian Constitution provides various modes of amendment of the constitution. Amendment is partially rigid, partially flexible under Indian context. It means that doctrine of basic structure is applicable, means certain part of the constitution can be amended by simple majority. Certain part of Indian Constitution is amended through simple majority, two-third majority, and certain part of the Indian Constitution is amended through two-third majority plus ratification of 50% of the states in India. And according to the doctrine of basic structure, certain part is not subject to amendment, means there is no change in certain parts. It is called as doctrine of basic structure. This doctrine of basic structure was evolved by Supreme Court in Keshavananda Bharati versus State of Kerala AIR 1973, where Parliament cannot amend the basic structure of Indian Constitution. Supreme Court confirmed that whatever the basic structure is there, basic structure is not subject to amendment under Article 368 of Indian Constitution. So thank you friends for your patience listening. If you like this video, please share it with your friends. Thank you.